Phoenix 911, where is your emergency?
Oh, I just found a woman's body out in the desert going for a walk, and she's there. I didn't touch her. I didn't do her face, but it looks like she's been there for a while.
The emergency call was recorded on the morning of April 29, 2023, in Phoenix, Arizona, USA. A hiker on the Reach 11 trail, a quiet place and often visited by locals for exercise, accidentally discovered the body of a young woman. It was Lauren Heike, 29 years old, who had just gone missing the day before. Lauren is not a stranger in the small community in Phoenix. She works in the beauty industry, lives an active life, and loves outdoor activities. Every day she chooses to start the morning by walking, breathing fresh air, exercising both physically and mentally. But the morning of April 28, 2023 was different. She left home with a bright smile, steady steps, but never returned. The incident quickly made waves in the local media and shocked the whole United States. A young, happy woman was taken from her life on a familiar street. What happened? Who could be so cruel as to kill someone who had no ill will? The investigation began, a months-long investigation that revealed a suspect who lived right in the community and a shocking motive. Lauren Heike was born in 1993 in Arizona, the only daughter in a middle-class family. Since childhood, she has stood out with a gentle personality, always caring and helping others. After graduating, Lauren pursued a career in beauty and healthcare, with the dream of making a positive difference in the lives of others. She used to work at a local spa, where customers often praised her, not only for her good skills, but also for the warm smile that was always present on her face. Lauren's life revolves around simple but meaningful things: a stable job, time for family, relaxing walks after work, and sharing everyday moments on social networks. In the photos posted, Lauren often appears in nature, with bright sunlight and a bright smile, an image that brings a sense of peace to viewers. At the time of the incident, Lauren lived alone in a small apartment in North Phoenix. Despite her independence, she kept in regular contact with family and friends. Reach 11 Trail, the trail she chose that day, was not only a familiar place, but also a private place that helped her relax and regain her balance. But in that place that once brought peace, the unthinkable happened. On the morning of April 28, 2023, the Phoenix sky was clear, the sun shining brightly through the trees along the Reach 11 Trail. It was a day like any other for Lauren Heike. She woke up early, ate a light breakfast, changed into her gym clothes, and sent a simple text message to her mother. "I'm going for a short walk today, and then I'll stop by the spa." At around 10 a.m., Lauren began her usual route along the trail. Other hikers remembered seeing her, with her blonde hair tied back, her brisk gait, and her calm demeanor. No one could have guessed that it would be the last time they saw her. Lauren's phone went dead that afternoon and evening. Calls from her family went unanswered. By evening, worry turned to panic. Her mother tried to contact her several times, but to no avail. Friends also confirmed that she did not show up at work. A missing person report was filed with Phoenix police that night. No one suspected that, at that time, Lauren could be in danger. Something unusual had happened on the road that was supposed to be peaceful. And while everyone still had hope, the truth was slowly being buried under the lush green foliage, just a few steps away from the trail. Based on surveillance camera footage and crime scene investigation results, Phoenix police reconstructed the final hours of Lauren Heike's life, a short but dramatic and haunting series of events. At approximately 10 a.m. on April 28th, Lauren began her hike. While moving along Reach 11 Trail, she was unaware that a man had secretly followed her from behind, taking advantage of the dense and deserted terrain to hide. Through surveillance video collected from nearby homes, police determined that this person had unusual behavior, moving quickly, constantly observing the surroundings with a furtive look. As Lauren entered a less frequented area, the suspect is said to have suddenly approached from behind. According to the forensic report, she was attacked in a defenseless position, indicating that the act was carried out quickly and unexpectedly. Several of the injuries on the victim's body indicated an unsuccessful attempt to escape. After the crime, The suspect fled the scene via a side trail leading to a residential area behind. There were no direct witnesses, but shoe prints, fabric fibers, and biological evidence at the scene played a significant role. A nearby neighborhood camera captured the suspect running away, heading toward a residence just over a mile away, a clue that helped authorities begin to narrow down the suspect. On the morning of April 29, 2023, the atmosphere on the Reach 11 trail was as peaceful as usual. Locals began their daily walks and jogs, but for a middle-aged woman hiker, that morning became an unforgettable memory. While crossing a less-traveled section of the trail, she noticed something unusual among the low bushes along the path. A strange, silent, motionless object. When she got closer, she discovered that it was a woman lying face down, wearing sportswear, showing no signs of movement. Sensing something was wrong, she immediately called 911 and described the situation. She was unconscious. I didn't see her breathing. Within minutes, police and medical forces were present. The scene was quickly sealed off. After a preliminary examination, the rescue team confirmed that the victim had no signs of life. The victim was identified shortly afterwards as Heike, who had been reported missing the previous evening. Lauren's body was found about 4.5 meters from the main walkway in a secluded area. The position of her body suggested that she may have attempted to escape, but was unsuccessful. The surrounding evidence was a clear warning that this was not a random incident. The case was immediately turned over to a criminal investigation. Immediately after confirming the victim was Heike, the authorities sealed off the entire area around where the body was found. The crime scene was considered complex, located in a densely wooded area about 4.5 meters from the main trail, a location that was difficult to observe if not paying close attention. Investigators collected all suspicious traces: footprints leading from the trail to the body area, a few small fibers stuck to tree branches, and especially strange shoe prints near the body, different from the type of shoes Lauren was wearing. They also carefully checked all security cameras in nearby houses, hoping to capture images of someone passing by at the suspected time. Lauren's body was sent for forensic examination the same day. The forensic report showed that she had been stabbed multiple times in the back and body, a total of 15 wounds. This indicated a sudden attack from behind. There were no signs of a prolonged struggle, but there were some scratches on her hands and knees, indicating that she had tried to resist and escape in desperation. Based on the initial evidence, Phoenix police determined that this was a deliberate, targeted attack. The investigation was launched with the assistance of crime scene experts, forensic experts, and video analysts. The investigation team reviewed hundreds of hours of camera footage within a 2-mile radius of the crime scene. A residential video showed a young man, dressed in black, running quickly away from the trail around the time the incident was believed to have occurred. His suspicious behavior and the way he kept turning his head to look around made him a suspect. Police began cross-referencing the data with people with criminal histories who lived in the area. One name quickly emerged: Zion Teasley, 22, who had been arrested for assault and organized theft. He lived only about 1.5 miles from the scene. What was remarkable was that Teasley's profile and clothing were a close match to the person in the video. Next, the police collected DNA data from biological evidence left on Lauren's shoes, an important factor. After analysis, the results confirmed that the DNA sample matched Zion Teasley. The police had enough grounds to make an arrest. After DNA testing confirmed that the biological sample found on Lauren's shoe matched Zion Teasley, Phoenix police took urgent action. On May 4, 2023, authorities tracked Teasley's movements for several hours before executing an arrest warrant in a residential area near where he lived. The arrest was quiet, without resistance. At the time of the arrest, Teasley appeared surprised but remained calm. He was taken to the Phoenix police station for further questioning and investigation. When the news of the arrest was announced, local media reported it, and residents in the area expressed surprise and concern at learning that the suspect lived so close to their community. Some neighbors said that Teasley had appeared quiet, had little communication, and often went out at odd hours. During the initial interrogations, Zion Teasley denied any involvement in Lauren Heike's death. He appeared confused when asked about the time and place on April 28th. However, when police presented DNA evidence, surveillance video, and phone location information, Teasley began to change his attitude. According to the investigation records, one of the first sentences Teasley uttered after being confronted was, "It was me, I think. I don't know." That vague statement opened a series of contradictory statements, forcing investigators to be careful with each question. Teasley said that he went for a walk that day to clear his mind, with no intention of contacting anyone. However, when asked why he was near the scene and why there was DNA on the victim's shoe, he could not give a reasonable explanation. Additionally, phone records showed that he had accessed news articles about the case before his arrest, a detail that raised suspicions about his own monitoring of the case. During the interrogation, investigators also discovered that Teasley had shown signs of mental instability and had written diary entries expressing personal frustration, feelings of inferiority, and jealousy towards those around him. After conducting interviews and collecting statements from suspect Zion Teasley, investigators moved on to the stage of strengthening the case file, an important step to ensure that all evidence is tested and fully prepared for trial. First, the DNA test results were considered key evidence. The DNA sample collected from the victim Lauren Heike's shoe was a perfect match to Teasley's. This was clear physical evidence showing that the suspect had direct contact with the victim or was present at the scene at the time of the incident. Next, surveillance video recorded by a resident's camera was carefully analyzed. The image showed a man with a body shape, clothing, and gait matching Teasley, leaving the trail area at a time that coincided with the estimated time Lauren was attacked. Additionally, location data from cell phones also helped determine the suspect's location in the crime scene during the crucial time frame. Text messages, browsing history, and unusual behavior on social media platforms were also extracted to support the investigation. With this evidence, prosecutors believe they have enough grounds to charge Teasley with serious harm, paving the way for prosecution in the Arizona State High Court. After completing the investigation file with sufficient evidence, suspect Zion Teasley was formally indicted on a charge of first-degree murder. The trial was originally scheduled for October 2025 in Maricopa County Superior Court, Arizona. However, due to a number of legal factors, including the emergence of additional charges related to Teasley's previous actions, the trial was postponed to January 2027. Throughout the preparation for trial, prosecutors and defense attorneys repeatedly requested additional time to review evidence, obtain additional witness statements, and evaluate the defendant's psychological profile. Lauren Heike's family has repeatedly expressed frustration with the delay and called on the legal system to act decisively to bring the case to light. As the trial began, the jury was asked to carefully consider all the evidence: surveillance video, DNA testing, witness statements, and the suspect's behavior before and after the crime. The prosecution emphasized the victim's surprise and defenselessness, arguing that the act was intentional and extremely dangerous to society. Teasley's defense attorney argued that the defendant's mental state was unstable and asked the court to consider criminal responsibility based on medical factors. However, the prosecutor argued that the preparation and behavior after the crime did not indicate a momentary loss of control. The case is still pending, with the defendant facing the most severe penalties under Arizona law if convicted. The Lauren Heike case is not only a heartbreaking event in the city of Phoenix, but also a profound reminder to the community about the fragility of life and the importance of vigilance in daily life. For the victim's family, the pain of losing a daughter, a sister, a friend is irreplaceable. Lauren was described as a loving person, always ready to help others and carrying a positive, sociable spirit. Her departure has left a big void in the hearts of her loved ones. Lauren's parents could not hide their emotions in many statements to the media. They shared that Lauren was a child who always lived life to the fullest, knew how to care for others, and had a dream of developing a career in the healthcare industry. The sudden and cruel loss of her chance to live has left them not only heartbroken, but also determined to pursue justice to the end, so that their daughter's name will not be forgotten, and that what she represents, kindness and goodness, will continue to spread. Since Lauren's case, Many Arizonans have joined campaigns to raise awareness about personal safety when participating in outdoor activities, especially for women. Hiking trails have been required to install additional lighting systems, security cameras, and increased patrols during less crowded hours. Local communities have also stepped up organizing group hikes to reduce risks. Legally, the case also highlights the importance of dealing with dangerous behavior early. Suspect Zion Teasley's record shows that he had a criminal record, but he lived in the community without clear supervision. Many question whether Lauren's death could have been prevented if the legal control system was tighter. In the end, this case teaches not only about loss, but also about the responsibility of each individual to build a safer community. Lauren Heike's story, though painful, has become a symbol of solidarity, a wake-up call for vigilance, and a call to action to prevent similar tragedies from happening again. Lauren is gone, but her memory lives on, like the gentle sunlight on the trails she loved.